Previously in L.W. deLaurance's The Master Key, we ended Lesson 12 with, in practicing this exercise, students should guard against giving their face an unnatural or unpleasant expression. Check this tendency by examining your face in a mirror occasionally. Now, Chapter 15, Lesson 13, Scientific Concentration, Attention, and Mental Discipline. Summary of Lesson 13. This is a very interesting lesson. More difficult than Lesson 12. It is largely mental and must be very carefully practiced. By carefully, we mean be particularly careful to avoid strain or fatigue in doing any of the exercises herein. Hasten slowly. That must be your motto, and must be your motto ever held before you. Exercise number 24 will be concentrating on the facial muscles. Number 25, concentration applied to reading. 26, concentration applied to thinking. And 27 also, concentration applied to thinking. Exercise number 28 will be concentration applied to memory. Number 29, concentration applied to bad habits. Exercise 30, exercise and attention. Number 31, concentration in prayer. And number 32, concentration applied to an object in life. Remember the advice given in the last lesson about being discouraged. Never admit the thought of failure. Every student is also most earnestly admonished to give some practice to exercise number 24. It is of special value to businessmen and women. 24, again, was concentrating on the facial muscles. Exercises number 31 and 32 are invaluable to you. If you practice them in the proper spirit, you will never be numbered among life's failures. Those again were 31 and 32, which are, once again, 31 and 32, concentration in prayer and concentration applied to an object in life. Continuing. Essentials of Lesson 13. The force of desire is one of the greatest forces in the world, and it affords excellent exercises in concentration. The desire to tell is perhaps one of its strongest manifestations. I commend the following exercises to you, which, if you duly observe, will greatly strengthen your powers of concentration and also your power of self-control. It's not my purpose, the author's purpose here, to go into the moral benefits which will result from their practice. First, if you know or learn anything against the character of any person, never tell it to another person. That is, speaking generally, of course. Special cases may demand it. Now, this desire in the vast majority of people is enormous. If you can control it, the benefits are in proportion. Remember, these are manifestations or instantiations of the desire to tell. The desire to tell. Second, if you hear an important piece of news, restrain the desire to tell it to the first person you meet. By so doing, you are concentrating. You concentrate all your powers of resistance not to tell. You concentrate all your powers of resistance not to tell. And when you feel you have command over yourself, that is when you feel the force of the desire to tell diminish. You can then tell your news without any loss of control. It is the impatience of the desire to tell that you are to guard against. Third, if a person tells you an important bit of news, which formerly would have caused you to start to jump up or to utter some exclamation of surprise, receive the news quietly. Don't let your friend make you lose control. You will find he will be taken aback, and perhaps he will wonder if his news was really as important as he thought it was. You will find that if you practice this, that it will be of enormous benefit to you, especially if you are in business. People will respect you, and you will gain a name for coolness of nerve and imperturbability. You will gain the name of a strong man. Note, do not receive the news in a wooden manner. Use tact in accordance with the circumstances. You may perhaps think that, strictly speaking, these above exercises are not concentrative, but a little reflection will show you that they are highly so. The desire to tell says, you must do as I tell you. Concentration replies, no, by giving way to desire, I am losing control over a part of myself. I shall not do this. I shall concentrate all my powers of resistance against this desire and so preserve my self-control. Welcome occurrences to practice these exercises, and you will reap great benefit. Exercise number 24, concentrating on the facial muscles. First position, sit upright in front of your looking glass and gaze at the root of your nose. That is just where the nose juts out from the brow. Breathe naturally. Concentrate your attention on the facial muscles and try to avoid the slightest movement. Keep all thoughts at bay, thinking only of keeping the facial muscles perfectly still. Second position. Stand upright in front of your looking glass and fix your gaze the same as before, at the root of your nose. Instead of sitting upright, stand upright. Follow the same instructions as in the first position. Concentrate your attention on the facial muscles and try to avoid the slightest movement. Keep all thoughts at bay. Think only of keeping the facial muscles perfectly still. Third position. Stand upright in front of a high mirror with your hands down by your side. Stand perfectly motionless. Do not practice any of these positions at first for longer than 5 minutes. Gradually increase up to 15 minutes. Watch your breathing carefully in each position. The ability to control the facial muscles will stand you in a good stead on many occasions. Its value cannot be estimated. Its value cannot be estimated. For these muscles are always trying to betray your thoughts to others. Excuse me. Bad news, good news, surprise, fear, joy, all employ the facial muscles to express themselves. Therefore, be on your guard and exact complete obedience from your facial muscles. Remember, people judge you by these muscles as much as by what you say. Therefore, gain complete control over them. We'll continue the next video with, we'll continue into exercise number 25, concentration applied to reading, in the next video.